Hey everybody, welcome back. Today in our line of smaller solar panels, today we're taking a look at the KROAK 20 watt shingled solar panel. Let's check it out. Alright everybody, welcome back. So sometimes I like to focus on the smaller solar panels for smaller solutions. Now, you don't always need a 100-watt panel if you're going to charge up something or maintain it. To keep your, say, cell phones or ham radio gear or whatever charged up. Something like this could be the optimal size for you. So quickly I want to show you what's in the box, and then we're going to go over the specs and details on it. With this, of course, you're going to get the panel. You're going to get this plug here that will connect with alligator clips directly to your battery. And you see your plug in there. I'll show you that up close in a second. You also have a USB plug. Okay, you're going to be getting this cigarette lighter adapter type plug. And we're going to be using this today to charge a power bank that I built myself. A quick manual here. Very basic information. I'll give you the first 4 pages are the English. And all in all, really basic stuff. And of course, the panel. You'll see this is a pretty decent sized panel for a 20-watt panel. We are going to test and see the output. You have this little section here that folds like this, so you can put it up at an angle and rest it on stuff. And what I'm going to do with this is we're going to put it outside and test it on a meter. But I wanted to give you a little bit of information on the panel itself before we begin. Now, one of the nice things about this thing is it's flexible. So this can be used, you know, pretty much anywhere. You can bend it around corners, whatever you're going to do, and you can flex it. That's handy for, say, your RVs or off-grid type situations where you might be putting this on a roof that's kind of curved, maybe over your vehicle, whatever. It'll fit in there, won't be a problem. A lot of times I've used stuff like this on the dashboard of my car. And, you know, say if it sticks like this or gets bent up like that, it doesn't matter. It's not a solid panel. So it's going to be a lot lighter and a lot easier to kind of fit into places. And it can be used even if one area of the panel is slightly damaged. So it'll pick up solar and translate it to power. This also has very good weak light performance. I always like to test that. When I'm in here with the studio lights on, believe it or not, on the camera it may not look as bright sometimes as it really is in here, but there's a lot of light coming down in here. And if I stick this up to the light, you probably won't be able to see it, but if I stick it up to the light, it will, the red light there will turn on. I don't know if it'll work on the side here. I'll just put a flashlight over it. But the red light will turn on. It's very, very easy to get a charge off this thing, which means to me, let's put a flashlight over it, that something like this would work very, very well in a window, say, if you were just temporarily charging things. See the red light? So it is picking up the light. So it does kind of suck in as much light as possible, and you will be able to use this in lower light situations, which is very, very cool. If you're going to stick this in your window, say, to do a maintenance charge on a battery you keep for emergencies, or maybe keep your cell phone or ham radio gear topped off, anything that runs off a USB, you can do that, and it will work. Some of the other panels I've tested, the smaller ones, maybe they're too big and need more light over a large surface area, but they don't work as well in a little environment like this. Something like this would be really cool. Say, you know, I used to have a pickup truck with a camper shell, and I had a little solar backup system installed in there, and I had one of those cheapy $5, $10 things you buy at the car stores, you know, with the little battery maintainer. They're about this big, you know, it's plastic. And that's what I use for a maintenance panel. Something like this would be really, really good because it's flexible and kind of fit to the roof of your vehicle. So we got DC and USB outputs like I showed you on the side there. We will be testing both outlets to see how they work. But the USB outlet's nice to have on there, so you don't have to go through adapting it to a USB adapter or whatever. You have a waterproof PET panel, very temperature resistant, dust proof, waterproof, does pretty well in harsh environments. We are going to, over long term, see how well it does in harsh environments because the sun pretty much eats everything up out here. We were talking about that on my radio show last night, how if you put duct tape on something out here, within 6 months in the summer, that duct tape will be peeling off or a mess. So we will see how well that works. This is built-in quick connect there, so you can install this in series or parallel. If you decide to buy 2 of these and put them together, you can do that. It's suitable for basically laptop, topping off your car battery, you know, keeping it topped off, a portable power station, cell phones, power banks, tablets, whatever. So you're going to have a power output of 20 watts on this. Your DC output is going to be 17.6 volts at 0.85 amps. And your USB output is going to be 5 volts at 3.1 amps. So let's go and connect this to a homemade power box that I built. I have it over here. You probably won't be able to see all of it because the camera's not far back enough. And we're going to see how well this works and see if it charges it up. So let me get outside and let's test it out. Alright, I will move you in once I plug this in, but I wanted to show you the setup out here. That's the panel on the ground there. And it's not in perfect sunlight, but you know, it's not optimized, but it's definitely where it's supposed to be. You can see the little red light on the cigarette lighter adapter up there, and that is how I charge this particular power box. I have outputs for USB, 12 volt, and Anderson power poles on it. And this is something I put together a while back. I don't know if you probably saw it in the video that I did of it. It was very simple to put together. Will save you some money if you're interested in a small kind of lightweight power system instead of buying a power station. I think the whole thing probably went together for under $100, so not bad. Anyway, let's plug it in. I'm going to get in the back there and plug it in for you. There we go. Now, in order to test that, I am going to have to move you a little closer to show you the charge control working, because there is no real display on this. I didn't build a display into it other than the little display here that tells me my voltage, and you'll need to be closer to see that too. So let me move you up close. We started at about 12.7 volts. I think I see it flickering from 12.7 to 12.8. Let me bring you up close and show you the charge control, and the charge control will flicker really quickly when it's being activated. So let's get up close and look at it. Alright, I don't know if you can see that on video. I hope you can. That's the LED, and it is flickering bright green. You can probably see it. I can't see it through the monitor here. But this is a Genesun, 4 amp charge controller, 12 volt 4 amp charge controller. The reason I picked this particular one is because it's RF silent. So if you're using, say, a shortwave or ham radio with this, you wouldn't pick up that RF hash over some of the bands. It's absolutely completely silent. It runs about, I don't want to say like $45. They're a little more expensive because they are RF silent, but you can see it's working very well. So what we're going to do next is leave this on here for a little bit. Let me see what our voltage is. Yeah, 12.8, so it's up 1 point already just from sitting there. What we're going to do is let this sit for a while. I'll bring you back when it goes a little higher. And then we're going to connect the other leads to it and see what we're getting using a multimeter. So let's wait a minute here, see how that does, and I'll bring you back. Alright, so I took this battery from 12.7 to 12.9, as you can see there. This is kind of a unique little plug here. It covers it up, but you can't see it as well with that visor over it, so I pulled it off, and you got your 2 USB ports. So it definitely does the job. And for something small like this, that maybe I'd be running a low-power HF rig or something on, definitely would work very, very well. I do have a 40-watt panel for that, and I believe in the video that I showed it to you, I showed you that panel, but this little 20-watt one is definitely kicking butt. It's doing its job. So let's get a multi-tool out here, multimeter, and connect it with the little alligator clip leads and see where we go from there. Alright, so here's the setup for this time. We got the other little clip that comes with the other little set of wires connected to the leads of my multi-tester there, my multimeter, connected on the ground there with alligator clips. We're going to take it up top and show you what it's pulling in, and I'm actually really impressed because I'm seeing, I'll bring it up close to you, 19.4. That's pretty darn good for something rated at 20. I can't complain about that. So really a pretty decent, efficient little panel. Let's give it a little test with a charge up on the on a cell phone and see where we go from there. Alright, so being that my phone is fully charged, yeah, I'm one of those weirdos that keeps my phone fully charged all the time. I do have a plug here, and I just want to make sure that the plug is actually working. And there we go. I've got the little, I don't know if you can see it, I got the little charge icon in there. So it is in fact doing its job there. So I wanted to make sure that the USB port was working. Another nice thing about this is not only do you have this to lean it up against, but if you want to strap this on to something, like say a car visor or something, you could do that as well. And always keep your phone topped off while you're driving around. My thing is I just keep it topped off in case of emergency, in case the power goes out. At least I have a good long charge in it, as well as the fact that it doesn't have all those apps running in the background. I just kill them off, so that's how I'm able to do it. But that is kind of neat. You can even hang it like this in a tree. Maybe take some paracord and do a little loop knot over that and just kind of hang it in a tree facing downward like that. So definitely cool little panel. Seems to operate within what it says it's doing, and I'm impressed with it. So let's get it up on the table and let's finish up the video. Alright, so we are back inside, and I gotta say, I'm really impressed with this little unit. It actually does what it's supposed to do, and it did it quite efficiently. So, definitely think it's worth the money. Now, as far as the price goes on this is a sale right now. They're featuring it on Banggood, and they're featuring it for $24.99. Normally, it's in the $45 range. Now, if you look for 20-watt folding panels, you know, those little ones that open up like this, they're usually in the $30 to $40 range. So that's really a good deal right now, especially to be able to carry around an extra 20 watts with you of solar power. Wherever the sun is shining, you can charge up any of the devices you need to charge up, be they tablets, GPS, ham radio stuff, any of your emergency gear. I mean, let's face it, how many of our headlamps and lights and stuff all charge off USB? So definitely a worthwhile thing to invest in. And if you don't need a huge one, you know, something like this can slip on the side of your bag. If you've got a go bag or any camp gear or whatever, this could even slip into MOLLE webbing or inside the back of a bag, maybe in a hydration pouch area. And it's small. It's lightweight, tiny, less than, 0.3 kilograms. Didn't translate that to English, sorry. But it's very, very lightweight. And you pick what you want. Are you going to take a little gel cell battery with you? Well, bring this for the terminals. Are you going to take something you're going to plug your cigarette lighter into? That works too. Bring your own cord if you need a USB cord. Or if you have a charger for, say, like my Baofeng UV9 has a charger that it sits in that it plugs into USB. I don't need to bring anything but the charger. So definitely a worthwhile little option to look into. I think having some kind of basic solar backup power, well, it may not be efficient to power the entire world, definitely is efficient enough to power you through emergencies, power outages, whatever. And like I said, when I lived in a very small apartment in California on the second floor of a 2-story house, I had a 30-watt solar panel that sat in my window facing the sun sideways like that, and we had these Japanese screen windows. They were kind of cool with the paper on them, and I would put it in there, close it over, and let it sit in there, and it kept a 12-volt deep cycle battery topped off at all times, ready for me to use should there be a power outage. So having a small panel is definitely a worthwhile thing if you can't do larger panels. Anyway, folks, that's the KROAK, or KROAK 20-watt shingled solar panel, $24.99, $25 it's on sale for. The link will be down below where you can pick one up. There is a coupon, but I couldn't quite figure it out. There was a coupon code that made it $28. You know, I guess they were going off the original price, but being that it's on sale and it's right now $25, go for that. Follow the link, order it there. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out all our links down below. First off, we have our Jace Medical link. Okay, if you're interested in getting U.S. doctors prescribing you United States-made antibiotics, okay, as much as they can be these days. I know a lot of our active ingredients for antibiotics are made in other countries. But if you're interested in that and not buying your stuff off some sketchy website, check them out. You will have a phone consultation with their doctors or a web consultation. You'll fill out a form. You'll be able to get whatever you need as far as antibiotics. What they do for the basic kit is they prescribe the most common antibiotics you'll need to fight off infections in an SHTF type situation. Underneath that, our Amazon affiliate store, check out the gear I review. I put in there. Also have a lot of neat little kind of handy gadgets and stuff for prepping. Our freeze-dried wholesaler link. Yesterday I did a video on that. 15% off on freeze-dried wholesalers. Just follow the link. As for the old stuff that was specials, remember the mid-rats? Those McDonald's stuff and stuff like that. We probably won't be seeing those again. The pizza, you probably won't be seeing those again because they are specials. And what he does is he does them for the DOD. You know, he's a contractor with them, and they're just quick runs. You know, so every month there's probably going to be a new one. But for now, that's all we got. So you probably won't be seeing more of those in the future. Just keep an eye out for new stuff coming out that we can share with you. After that, we have our My Patriot Supply link. That's preparewithiridium.com. Preparewithiridium.com. On that link, I have a 3-month kit. Okay, 3 months, $150 off. First of all, even without the $150 off, it's cheaper than any 3-month kit I've seen out there. With it off, you're going to save a ton of money. So check that out too, and our Thrive Life store as well. Anyway, folks, I thank you for joining me today. Stay safe and stay prepared.